Hi guys, CombinedYoutuber here. Welcome to the F1 2016 career mode today, and we'll be doing the Russian Grand Prix, the 4th round of the season, and this is our first ever career mode race at Russia. We start 3rd on the grid for this Russian Grand Prix after a decent qualifying in the wet, so now let's go to the race for this Russian Grand Prix, our first ever.
Good afternoon from Sochi as we prepare to get underway for the Russian Grand Prix. The championship battle has some time to go yet, but still expect no quarter to be given here on this circuit that made its debut in 2014 and has already seen some classic racing. Built on the shores of the Black Sea, the Sochi Autodrome is a 3.6-mile tour around some of the venues built for the 2014 Winter Olympic Games. Close barriers may make overtakes more challenging, but with 56% of the lap taken absolutely flat out, we certainly won't be wanting for pure speed. A fitting arena then to do battle at the pinnacle of motorsport. And alongside me to take you through it all is none other than Anthony Davidson. This was a circuit that I think in its inaugural race got off to a bit of a shaky start, but since then it's really drawn the fans in and become a very popular event. What do you think changed?
But this just goes to show the importance of fixing problems as and when you discover them. As a complete unknown quantity in 2014, the tyre choice was quite conservative, which didn't really allow much in terms of different strategy options. So it was pretty much as you were from lights to flag. But that was a great learning experience, and we came back the next year and had a really exciting Grand Prix, with battles for the podium going on all the way to the final lap. So hopefully we'll be treated to more of the same this year.
Right, let's be patient going into turn 1. We want to be in a good position for the rest of the race. Good luck.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Kimi Raikkonen completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have a Haas, Vettel, Nico Rosberg, and Ricciardo, Bottas, Verstappen, Button, and Carlos Sainz, Kvyat, Alonso, Sergio Perez, and Grosjean, Magnussen, Hülkenberg, Felipe Massa, and Jolyon Palmer, Wehrlein, and Harry Anto, Marcus Ericsson, and Felipe Nasser starts from the back of the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
So here we are on the grid in Russia. We have a completely sunny race for this Russian Grand Prix. It's our first ever career race here in the Sochi Autodrome. And let's hope this is an awesome race. Russia doesn't usually provide good races, but let's hope this is a good one. We start our formation lap. Lewis Hamilton qualified on pole position. Kimi Raikkonen was in 2nd place. And we are in a very surprising 3rd, I have to say. Sebastian Vettel in 4th after that. And what was also very surprising was that Nico Rosberg started all the way down in 5th place on the grid. So he let's see what he sort of comeback he can do from the 5th place on the grid. Now coming into the long turn 3 on the formation lap, Raikkonen slowing down massively there into turn 3, and now onto the straight with Kimi Raikkonen. We are weaving on the straight here, and we almost hit the wall. We actually almost hit the wall there, but it's not like you get damage on the formation lap, but we almost hit the wall there. But now here we are lining up on the grid for the 4th round of the F1 2016 career mode season 1 in the Russian Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton is already lined up on his grid slot in pole position. We are lining up into our P3 grid slot. Vettel behind us, Vettel beside us, Rosberg behind us, Ricciardo beside him, and Bottas starting in 7th, our rival for this new rival. As now, here we go for the lights for the Russian Grand Prix. And it's now away we go in the Russian Grand Prix. We've made a brilliant start there, and we've got past Raikkonen straight away off the line, and we've moved up into 2nd place. Hamilton still leads into turn 1. Here we go, Rosberg. Now Vettel's going to the inside into turn 3, and Pascal Wehrlein's already out of this race. We looked up the inside of Lewis Hamilton into turn 2. Let's see the replay, and Pascal Wehrlein has just been collected into turn 1 and has hit the wall very hard. And without them braking for one corner there, the Manor driver is out of the race. Now Hamilton still leads and we are in second place after a brilliant start, a terrible start for Kimi Räikkönen. And we are up into second. This is a dream start for us now, our team in second place. And now, can Hamilton hold this on, or can we challenge him for the win? Now moving on to the end of lap 1 of this Russian Grand Prix, Sebastian Vettel behind us in third place. Here we go into the final corner. What are we going to do? On to the second lap now. Hamilton is leading after the first lap. We are in second, Vettel in third, who's now getting some slipstream on us. Coming down to turn 1, Vettel's now pulling to the outside. Here he goes down into turn 1, Vettel's now side by side with us. Coming down to turn 1, and now here comes Bottas and Rosberg on the inside. It's going to become 4 wide into turn 2. Bottas on the inside, Vettel round the outside, and Rosberg has spun there. We have collected Rosberg into the exit of turn 2, and Rosberg has half spun. The championship leader has spun round at turn 2. What a dramatic turn of events there. In one corner, just in one corner, 4 cars all going through together, and Rosberg got slightly forced off the track there, and we have collected him. Wow, what a turn of events. Sebastian Vettel going past all 3 of us around the 2 of us around the outside. And wow, what a dramatic turn of events. We have the championship leader all the way down, probably at the back of the field now. Wow. Wow. I actually can't believe that just happened. The championship leader, I think, who won the last 2 races, is now out of contention for this win. Here is a replay of what was a very, very good start to this Russian Grand Prix. You can see how bad Raikkonen's start was, and we got up into second place straight away. And you can see Raikkonen is getting swamped by Vettel and Rosberg coming into turn 2. He's already got passed by Vettel and Rosberg, and we hold second place on the inside. Raikkonen's now got passed by Bottas on the inside there as well, so it was a really bad start for Kimi Räikkönen. So he's gone from second all the way down to 5th, I believe. Let's see, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th actually. So all the way down, from 2nd down to 6th for Kimi Räikkönen. And what a start to this Russian Grand Prix. It's been an absolutely crazy race so far. Now, the safety car was deployed for that incident with Nico Rosberg there, so very interesting there. Hamilton still leads under the safety car. Sebastian Vettel in 2nd. Then it's me in 3rd, then it's Kimi Räikkönen in 4th. Here he goes, still behind Vettel under the safety car. We are actually going to go for a little bit of an undercut here. So we're going to go into the pits for our only pit stop in this Russian Grand Prix. Here we go now into the pit lane. And now coming, this is hopefully going to work. Usually, like in Bahrain under the safety car, we actually didn't pit under the safety car, but we almost had a crazy result in the Bahrain Grand Prix with Grosjean on the podium, but we didn't quite. Let's hope we can have a good result here due to this strategy. It was a good stop. I believe it was a 2.9 second stop from memory, so a decent stop there from Haas. And we are going to go dropping behind Verstappen, Sainz and Kvyat. Yes, we're actually not behind Kvyat. We're ahead of Verstappen, but we're behind our teammate Romain Grosjean, which is actually quite interesting. We're going to have to get Romain Grosjean on the restart of this race. So here we go for the restart of this Russian Grand Prix. Resuming on lap 5 of this race in Sochi. Verstappen pulls into the pit lane. On the safety car restart, Verstappen pulls into the pit lane. That could be costly. But now here we go onto the pit straight, and we restart this race here in Russia. Here we go, coming onto the straight with slipstreaming Grosjean coming down into turn 1. Now coming into turn 2, Grosjean slipstreaming the Renault ahead, but now going to go up the inside into turn 2 on Romain Grosjean and on Kevin Magnussen. What a move from a long way back, and we get up into 11th place. We got past Kevin Magnussen and Romain Grosjean. What a move that was. Lewis Hamilton still leads this race from Sebastian Vettel, then Kimi Räikkönen, Sergio Perez. We are effectively 4th place at the moment, with Valtteri Bottas effectively leading. So this could be a crazy result here. So we've got a battle ahead with, is that a 3 wide battle there? Bottas trying to get on the inside, and we got past Button on the outside. What a great move there. And now we're going to challenge Ricciardo into turn 15. This is actually, wow, this is actually equal to Bahrain at the moment, surprisingly there. This is almost equal to Bahrain, probably even better than Bahrain. They're coming now onto the straight onto lap 7. We have Bottas and Ricciardo side by side. Bottas gets past Rio Haryanto in the manor. And now here we go to the outside of Ricciardo coming down to turn 3. We're side by side round turn 3. And Ricciardo holds it round the outside. He's going to go round the outside of Rio Haryanto. He gets past on the inside. And now we are going to get some great traction on Rio Haryanto coming down into turn 5. And we get the move done into 9th. What some exciting piece of action there. That was great stuff. So now coming into turn 3, here is the replay of that battle. So we have 3 cars coming. Look at this, Ricciardo with a brilliant move around the outside. He was actually right on the marbles, and he still got past Rio Haryanto into turn 4. That was unbelievable driving from Ricciardo. He gets up into 8th, we get up into 9th. This is looking good for us for a podium, our first ever podium, because Bottas is effectively leading this race, Ricciardo in 2nd, and we are effectively in 3rd place. And this is legit, by the way, because of this is basically because of our pit stop. So now there is Nico Hülkenberg coming into the pit lane, and we moved up into 8th place, maybe in this Grand Prix, 6th place. So we are in a good position here. And now we have DRS on Daniel Ricciardo coming down into turn 2. Is Ricciardo going to challenge Bottas? Here is Rosberg, is that Rosberg who just spun? He gets past the other Force India of Sergio Perez. So that will be expected there, Rosberg getting past the Force India. So now we're going to go for a dive on Daniel Ricciardo into turn 5. We get the move and we get up into 5th place. It equals our best ever results in this career mode so far. Here is Sergio Perez actually coming back at the Mercedes of Nico Rosberg into turn 13. Perez gets the move on the Mercedes driver. A Force India overtakes a Mercedes. Now that's interesting. Rosberg must be really off the pace after a spin there, because that's not usually what happens realistically. A Force India passing a Mercedes, unless Rosberg's tyres are gone or something. But now onto lap 9 of this Grand Prix, we are very close to Valtteri Bottas coming into this corner. And now Rosberg and Perez come into the pits. We are now going to be in our podium position, 4th and 3rd place. We're actually going to be in there, and we're actually going to come out in 2nd, I believe, because Raikkonen's coming to the pits as well. Yes, we're in 2nd place, and now we are fighting for the lead in this Russian Grand Prix. Could this be a win for Haas? Let's see what happens as we gain on Valtteri Bottas coming into turn 2. We don't quite get it there. Wow, this is actually an unbelievable race. This is a crazy race with Bottas now leading this Grand Prix. Ricciardo in 3rd. And here we go into the straight now. Ricciardo moves to the outside coming into this corner with DRS open. Can Ricciardo get us into turn 13? Yes, he does, around the outside. Ricciardo gets into 2nd place. And our fellow Australian gets the move done. What a brilliant move. These have been some good battles here in this race. And this is actually not overhyped. This is real right here. And now here is Ricciardo coming with DRS on Valtteri Bottas now coming onto the straight. He goes to the outside and Ricciardo takes the lead of the Russian Grand Prix. And he gets past Valtteri Bottas, who has a chance to win for Williams. And we have a chance for a podium. We are going to get a podium probably. Jenson Button all the way down up in 4th place for McLaren Honda. This is an absolutely crazy race. Now onto the penultimate lap of this Russian Grand Prix. Ricciardo still leads this race with DRS open, Valtteri Bottas and me. We're going to get slipstream on Bottas now. Coming down to turn 2. We're going to go to the inside and Bottas moves to the inside of Ricciardo. And we're going to get cut off by Bottas on the inside. Bottas takes the lead from Ricciardo. And we get Ricciardo as well into turn 3. We move up into 2nd place. What a brilliant move there from us once again. But Ricciardo is fighting back at us. and we hold it on the inside line. Second place is our position. This could be our first ever podium in this career mode. Wow. This is actually unbelievable. I'm actually speechless right now. It was 3 wide into turn 2, and Bottas just cut us off a bit and forced us to go off the track. And Ricciardo was the big loser out of that, losing 2 places. And Bottas somehow held on to the lead of this Russian Grand Prix. We actually retook the lead. And here we go, side by side with Ricciardo. That was just some wheel-to-wheel racing at its best. But now, still on the penultimate lap, Bottas has probably run away with this race. And Ricciardo is now moving to the inside, coming into turn 13. Here we go, coming into turn 13, he gets second place back to Daniel Ricciardo. Now coming into this corner, what are we going to do? Onto the pit straight. Are we going to get back past Daniel Ricciardo for second place? Here we go, onto the pit straight, starting the last lap of this Russian Grand Prix. Here we go, Hamilton says the fastest lap of the race with the 1:39.9. But now we have DRS on Daniel Ricciardo, slipstreaming him, moving to the inside, and we get past him into second place. And this could be our finishing position in this Grand Prix, as Valtteri Bottas is going to hold on to get his first ever win in a career mode season. Here he comes into the last 2 corners. Valtteri Bottas now comes into the last 2 corners. He has taken a brilliant win here in Russia. Valtteri Bottas crosses the line for Williams. He takes the win here in the Russian Grand Prix. And now here we go, round the last 2 corners. This is absolutely unexpected, this podium. And now we come around the final corner to finish in second place. Our first ever podium in this career mode.
Yes, we're on the podium. Good job this weekend. Great drive. Thank you.
Wow.
Brilliant stuff from
I actually
Williams
can't
today.
believe that.
What a superb victory.
Williams have got a victory
And a hat to
with
Williams
Valtteri
because
Bottas.
just what set them apart.
There is no Mercedes on the podium, and we have finished on the podium here in Russia. Ricciardo finishes third. I'm actually speechless. I cannot believe this right now. It's our first podium
And I can see our drivers
in this
making
career
their
mode.
way
Bottas
up.
stands on the top step celebrating.
Performance.
We have our
Culmination
driver's
of
face for the
past
first time
Williams
on the
are
podium.
your
Wow.
winners today.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I can't believe this. Bottas actually holds up the trophy to signal his first ever F1 victory in this 2016 career mode season. We spray the champagne around, and that was a really, really epic race in this Russian Grand Prix. So it's Valtteri Bottas who has surprisingly won this Russian Grand Prix. We finish in second place for our first ever podium in this 2016 career mode. Daniel Ricciardo finishes in third. Jenson Button finishes fourth for McLaren Honda. Lewis Hamilton in fifth. Then Max Verstappen, Romain Grosjean in seventh. Decent from him there, from 14th on the grid. Kimi Raikkonen, Sebastian Vettel in ninth. So Ferrari had a terrible race as well. Magnussen in 10th. Sainz, then Hulkenberg, Perez, Ericsson, Kvyat, Felipe Massa down in 16th. And Nico Rosberg, Fernando Alonso, Rio Haryanto, Jolyon Palmer, Felipe Nasser, and Pascal Wehrlein, who crashed out on the first lap of this race after a really hard hit,
So then,
after
it's
clipping
time
the
to see
Williams.
how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Well, the gap at the top of the championship has been cut down after a difficult race today for our championship leader. And now I'd like to ask you, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
Look at where Romain Grosjean finished compared to where he started. That's a really strong performance, so driver of the day has to go to him, I think.
On to the constructors then. We saw a dip in form from the championship leaders today. Their lead has taken a significant blow. Meanwhile, Renault move up the table with another strong performance this weekend. After all this drama, you'd be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
So, what a race that was here in Russia. Rosberg still leads the championship, but by only 3 points now from Lewis Hamilton. Valtteri Bottas, after his epic win, is now third in the championship, equaling Max Verstappen. Then it's Daniel Ricciardo, Kimi Raikkonen, me in seventh, 38 points behind the leader. This championship has just become interesting. Sebastian Vettel, Jenson Button, Romain Grosjean, Nico Hulkenberg, Daniel Kvyat, Felipe Massa, Fernando Alonso, Kevin Magnussen, Carlos Sainz, Sergio Perez, Pascal Wehrlein, Julian Palmer, Marcus Ericsson, and I believe the 2 Manners. Mercedes lead by still a country mile, 48 points from Red Bull and Ferrari. Haas in 4th, ahead of Williams, but only 3 points. McLaren in 6th, and Toro Rosso, Force India, Renault, and then Sauber and Manor are the only teams to not score points, as Kevin Magnussen got Renault's first points of the season. So, what a Russian Grand Prix this has been. Here is our resource points after this race. We have an 84% clean lap, and we got 108 resource points. So that was our best performance so far, obviously. And compared to the rivalry update with Valtteri Bottas, he won, so he's going to get most of the achievements. Yeah, he's actually very close. So we are leading the rivalry with 12 out of 30 compared to his 8. And we are just massively overachieving still. And here is our career score. I'm still out of breath, guys. I'm sorry. That was such a eventful race. And our career score at the end of the weekend total is 7,030. We're going to have a total of 26,305 in our career score. So hopefully you enjoyed what was a freaking awesome Russian Grand Prix. We get our first ever podium in F1 2016 career mode. And see you guys on the Monaco Grand Prix next time out. Please like, comment and subscribe. I'll see you guys on Monaco next time out. And goodbye.